John, watch and pray.
The hour is near. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up. Haul you up. We must go now. Look, here comes my betrayer.
Arrest that man!
What have I done? This is not the way it was to be. Master!
You were Jesus of Nazareth.
No, I was not with him.
Are you not one of Jesus' disciples?
I am not a disciple. I am not
Yes,
one
you
of
are.
them. I am
Are you
not.
with him?
No.
Yes.
This man was with Jesus. His speech is that of a Galilean. I'm not a Galilean. I'm not one of them.
Oh, no.
The words Jesus spoke at the table were now coming true. Surely if the disciples had known what was about to happen, they would have stayed awake and prayed as he asked them to. One of them has betrayed Jesus. Now the disciples understand why Judas hurried off into the night and why Jesus was so distressed all evening. Jesus is now in the hands of the religious leaders. The disciples watched in fear as Jesus was arrested by the temple guards. The disciples couldn't understand why this was happening. Why didn't he put up a fight? They believed he was the Messiah, the Son of God. They knew he could have commanded the angels to rescue him. They knew he had the power to set himself free. But he didn't. He let them lead him away as if he was a common criminal. And so in fear, the disciples just ran off into the night. Except for Peter. He lingered near as Jesus was led before the high priest. And again, we hear the words of Jesus fulfilled. As Peter denied, he even knew the Lord 3 times before the rooster crowed. The fear and the anguish that the disciples experienced at that moment, however, was nothing compared to what Jesus was about to suffer and endure.
The Jewish leaders had made many attempts to discredit Jesus and his teachings with the people. All their efforts had failed. Now their hatred had led them to create a plan that would bring about the final destruction of Jesus. After Jesus was arrested, he was brought before the high priest. where the teachers of the law and the elders had gathered. Throughout the night, Jesus endured false accusations and beatings. He was blindfolded, they pulled his beard, and people spat upon and mocked him. Yet Jesus never retaliated, fought back, or denied that he was the Son of God. As dawn approached, the Jewish leaders had to be ready with their charges of subverting the nation, blaspheming God, and claiming to be a king. With these charges, they would be able to take Jesus to Pilate, the highest-ranking Roman official in the area. They knew that each year Pilate would release a prisoner, and they wanted to ensure that prisoner would not be Jesus, even if the other choice would be a murderer, an insurrectionist like Barabbas. It would be before Pilate they would finally get what they wanted, the death of this hated Jesus.
The hosannas and monarchs presented faded into the chaos and noise of those days and followed. Tables in the temple were overturned. Men in authority argued and conspired. Promises loudly sworn around an evening meal became whispered betrayal and lies. And there, in the midst of this turbulent storm, a man stood silent before his accusers. "Tell us," the chief priest said, "are you the Son of God?" Jesus answered, "It is as you say." "Why do you need any more testimony?" they cried. "We have heard it from his own lips." Let's see the road from where Jesus taught. Centuries of prophecy had come down to 3 years, and now 3 years had come down to 3 days. This is how the first day began. With one mountain.
Now they were